Hello everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I would like to share with you all something that I've been waiting for to come out for quite some time. I just finally grew the pair to pull the trigger financially and get this. This is a very expensive knife for me. Let's go ahead and open it up. Got the Remet WD-107. This package, the carrier was teasing me. These jackasses got it to me 3 days late. It got to LA and then it went to Santa Clarita. And I am 30 minutes from Santa Clarita. And then it hopped from Santa Clarita to Bakersfield, which is 2 hours away from me. And then it didn't move the entire weekend. And then it finally came back up this way to the Antelope Valley where I reside. So this is coming from Mr. Design. This is going to be the first and only thing I've ever checked out from them, mainly because a lot of their stuff is, I don't think anybody would argue, pretty expensive, but gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous design. They look very well thought out, and I finally got myself a piece, so I'm here to share with you guys. Oh Lord, that is ginormous. And a cool little sticker. Love that. I love stickers. We have an extra clip. This is most likely a lefty clip, which is awesome. I love that. I am an ambidextrous individual, but predominantly right-handed. Here it is, this freaking thing. There seems to be a little filler tab of sorts in there. Anything under the microfoam? Nothing else underneath there. Very simple, I don't want to call it cheap, but minimalistic packaging, right? This is the star of the show, of course. Look at this freaking thing. Let's go ahead and flick it. Oh my god, that is so hot. Oh man. So I went with a drop point because I think that this is the most attractive variation. Well, the drop point is sexy in its own right, of course. Oh my god. This is just more my speed, because this is something that I actually plan and intend to use and carry and kick around. But I would be frothing at the mouth if this behemoth of a knife here was offered in a mirror polish DLC reverse tux configuration. I would sign my soul away for that, but it is what it is. And even then, there's a satin finish, which is my least preferred blade finish, but I loved how the design looked so much, and doing my own little research, watching other content creators that have handled it, seeing all the engineering, just everything that went into this design, following this thing on Instagram, just all that kind of stuff. I was able to convince myself, just do it. You're gonna love it. If it's a knife that you're actually gonna use, who cares if it gets a little scratched up? There's a little bit of controversy about this particular design from Mr. Design. There is a warranty issue with this knife. If you take this knife apart, you avoid warranty. But I did speak to I guess the company owners, the brand owners, and they told me that they just want to handle everything case by case. So they will be doing normal service, but if you take apart the knife to do anything inappropriate with it, then you void the warranty. But if there's something that's genuinely wrong with the knife, like I don't know, like poor blade centering or severe lock rock up and down side to side that just won't go away no matter what you do, and you approach the situation with some patience and a good attitude, then you will be provided proper service. Absolutely. But if you're trying to get one over on these guys, shame on you. Definitely. There are a lot of good-hearted people in this community that have, built their own micro brands and have poured so much of their time their, you know, and their effort, and there are people out there that want to take advantage of warranty work and services to get free things, which I think is very, very shameful. Absolutely. So when I was made aware of that possibility, I then completely understood why they went about it the way that they did. So I just want to share with you guys that I personally am completely okay with how they're going about their warranty work and service. In the beginning, when I first read on the listing of this magnificent beast here, it did cause some concern because I love doing modifications. It's been a while since I've done anything really interesting, but if you follow me on my Instagram, NIC_BladeWorks, it'll be a little logo that looks kind of like this. I do a lot of different blade finishes, you know, some work on the spine, anodizing, just little things like that. You know, I was concerned that if I was going to be spending north of $400 on a freaking knife. I actually have a handful of things in my collection that are of very similar size, and I personally wouldn't shy away from utilizing something like this and kicking it around. So to my knowledge, this, while it has a lock here on the surface that kind of resembles a standard crossbar lock, it's not. It's actually running on a large coil spring internally, which is far more superior than standard Omega springs. I, on this channel, have busted a multitude of Omega springs because they are factually just flawed. I don't care how many testimonies there are of people saying that they've had them for their whole freaking life, or their grandpappy passed a busted ass, ugly ass Benchmade onto them and it's still going strong with the same Omega springs. I don't care. I have broken multiple Benchmade, Hogue Omega springs, some Chinese production stuff. It just happens. It still has good feel. It's not mushy, and of course it's going to take a second to break in and it'll become a little snappier. But as of right now, this is good to go. I am more than content with the tension on this. If you guys have been longtime viewers of my channel, you know that I'm a very picky individual when it comes to the tension of pseudo detent having knives. You know, we have typical things kind of like this. This is the Keen 2 by Bestech, same exact manufacturer, might I add. And looking at these real quick, the Keen is still the king. It is still the longest knife in the collection. That is just wild. I thought this was gonna be bigger than this right here, but it's not. So at least I'm pretty sure that Bestech is the OEM of this. But you know, this has a super snappy detent. You know, you can hear it there, and this does not have a traditional detent, but it does feel appropriately tuned. The lobe that the bar has to overcome, the ramp, and how it was designed to create that buildup of tension to then, you know, properly roll out, utilizing the studs there. I like it. I think it's well tuned. So let's go down below. We will take the weight. This thing feels appropriate for its overall size, being full tie construction with what looked to be a handful of pretty robust steel elements. Edge test, I'm expecting absolute perfection coming from Bestech. I have very high standards for stuff from Bestech, as well as even their budget stuff, Bestech men, just because that's just the name that they've made for themselves. So let's go ahead down below. Just threw the knife in the pocket right now, and the pocket clip design is freaking phenomenal. I have no need to bow it out, to tighten it. This is not a standard wire pocket clip. So for anybody out there that is concerned about spending, you know, close to $500 on a knife like this to get a wire pocket clip, some people would be grabbing their knives and pitchforks, right? Or torches and pitchforks. But I want to show you here how they designed it on the lefty clip. This, I'm assuming, is a piece of tie, and so it looks like there's a little cutout there. Probably there's a pin, like a stability pin, to hold it. There's a screw hole, and it is pretty much deep carry. very nicely milled. A lot of structural rigidity in the overall design here. No sharp edges, a lot of it is rounded, so it would stand to any sort of bowing. Definitely better than stuff that probably has like harsher edges. The ramp inside is very welcoming, and then the retention point is nice and smooth, not sharp at all. 10 out of 10 on that pocket clip design. That's incredible. 6.1. That is not insane at all for the item itself, but also keep in mind this is a big freaking knife in full tie. So let's do some size comparisons. This is the Recon 1 cold steel knife. It is exactly the same tip to tail. Sencut Knives Glide Strike. Chris Reeves Sebenza 31 large. Vosteed Raccoon Tie Slim. CMB Maiden Knives Predator version 4. Civivi Vision FG. Here is that beautiful Keen 2 by Best Tech. It is just a smidge longer. Devo Growler XL. Let's go ahead and do factory edge test. Is this the guy section? I've smelled that, it's alright. This, a version of this was my wedding fragrance. Beautiful, love it. And then this, I have the blue version of that, and it's freaking delicious. Okay. Oh, good lord. That is just, oh, that's filthy. That's super clean. Wow. Wow. This has really good bite. And I know going through something this thin isn't, you know, super crazy cool by any means, but if you are a sharpening fanatic, you know that going through material like this is actually quite impressive, because it shows off the cleanliness, the finishing work of the actual apex itself. And as you can see, the tip to the heel is absolutely symmetrical, as well as on the other side. I expect nothing less, absolutely nothing less from Best Tech. For how much these freaking knives cost, they better be perfect. I cannot see inside of there because of this back piece here, but at least you can tell that, you know, you won't be able to touch the live edge at all. Let's see the tip depth. That is in there. That is absolutely in there. Can I pick it out? I got some nails on me right now, but yeah, I can get it out of there, but I really got to dig for it. So that's a stretch, definitely. But you can tell that it's very well buried down deep in there. And I'd say that they absolutely maximize the amount of blade that they could have in this handle right here. Talking about the ergonomics, gorgeous, phenomenal. It is as you would imagine it would feel. It's just absolutely beautiful. I don't know where the stop pin hits. I would hope it's in, you know, a fatty portion somewhere down in there. You know, in my perspective, having to buy something like this with my own hard-earned money, not receiving any sort of incentive from the designer or the OEM company or anything, this is completely raw. This is completely me. There is zero bias taken out of this completely. I don't know who Mr. Design is. I have zero connection to them. So the review of this is going to be 100% honest and sincere. And as of right now, I am very happy with my purchase. Relatively soon, I'll be coming back to you guys with a full-length review. I can't see myself saying much more than what I've said at this point in time, and I won't do a review until I actually take it apart and sharpen it and give my genuine thoughts from a user, collector, and enthusiast perspective, because in my opinion that is the best way to relate and to communicate with other people that are just like me, that want to add something beautiful like this to their collection. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, find it educational, entertaining. If you did, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you are subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate all your support and your patience, of course. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because I promote videos and content coming guys this way. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.